Hello. Happy Monday, everyone. Happy Monday, Hayley.
Happy Monday, Micah.
Hey, it is September 30th, 2024 at the Oklahoma Counseling Institute Monday Lunchtime Digest, where we tell you what's going on with OCI and also in the world of Oklahoma mental health. So, Hayley, what is going on with OCI?
Lots and lots. So this week we have a set of live webinars coming to you. So this Saturday, October 5th, we'll be welcoming back Dr. Paul Hardy. Dr. Paul Hardy will be doing two trainings with us in the morning from 9 a.m. to 12:15 p.m. He'll be doing a training on substance abuse treatment from a solutions-focused therapy perspective. In the afternoon, he'll be talking about substance abuse treatment with children's, teens, and adults, and children's, teens, and families. And so, if you need those drug and alcohol specific CEUs, or if you're an LPC and need some general CEUs, highly recommend that you come. Dr. Hardy is a great presenter and always a joy to have. And so, I'm really looking forward to this Saturday.
Ah, fantastic. Yeah, he is a very good presenter. And so we're looking forward to having him this Saturday. And then I know that you've also been working on November. We have a live webinar, and then we have the winter webinar weekend, which is December, the first Thursday, Friday, Saturday in December.
Yes, and so coming up in November, November 2nd from 2 o'clock to 5:15 p.m., we'll have Tiffany Dilworth back. She'll be talking about grief among immigrant folks. I'm really excited for that one. And in the morning, we'll have Dr. Julie Colzett. So Dr. Julie Colzett is a clinical psychologist from New York, and she'll be doing a 3-hour training on cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia. That registration should hopefully be up in the next couple of days or so. We'll be sure to send it out in the email blast whenever that is up and ready. And so that being said, if you are not on our email blast and you'd like to be, send me an email, hello@edmondcounseling.com, or send me a text, 405-440-3034. Send me your name and your email address. I'm happy to add you to our email chain because we send out emails at least once a week with things that are going on in OCI and beyond. So be sure to stay tuned. And on top of that, we also have a grand opening that we'll be celebrating here in the next few weeks, right, Micah?
That's right. We sure will. Yeah. So Edmond Counseling Professional Development, moved actually earlier this month to a new location. It's about twice the size of what we had before. And so we are going to have our open house on October 22nd from 4 o'clock to 6:30.
Yes, very excited for that. So that is a come and go affair 3 weeks from tomorrow. And so again, send us an email if you have any questions, but we hope to see you there.
Yeah, so it will be at our new location, 1218 East 9th Street, Suite 5 in Edmond, Oklahoma, or you can go to edmondcounseling.com and find the address there. But yeah, we hope to see a whole bunch of mental health providers to come out and just to be able to network and hang out for a little bit at our open house, October 22nd.
Absolutely.
All right, so what's happening in the world of mental health, Hayley?
So I have a local news story and a national news story this week.
All right, give us your local story. What you got?
So locally, this comes from OU Health. So OU Health is starting a pilot program called the Rural Rotation Program. And so through the Rural Rotation Program, PA graduate students are being trained not only to provide medical services, but also mental health services. According to OU, 95% of Oklahoma is an underserved area when it comes to healthcare in general. And they also found that most Oklahomans get their mental health care needs met through their primary care physician. And so, if it is a rural area where there's very few medical providers, then those medical providers kind of have to serve multiple roles. And so, what they're doing is that they received a grant to train these PAs in mental health care services. And so, part of the rural rotation program is each of these graduate students will spend 3 months in a rural community in Oklahoma, providing that primary and mental health care. And so hopefully that will help to bridge that gap of services in rural Oklahoma. I believe that the article also said that 41% of Oklahomans live in one of these underserved areas. And so that's a significant amount of folks. Like I think I mentioned it before. I remember when I lived in Elk City, we had one psychiatrist, and that was the only psychiatrist between Oklahoma City and Amarillo. And so it was very underserved area, which other clinicians can prescribe medicine and whatnot, but that specialty of psychiatry was very limited. And so I'm eager to see how this program plays out. I think it'll be a great way to connect more folks with mental health and physical health services in rural Oklahoma.
Yeah, yeah. And I know in the last legislative session, they passed legislation to increase the workforce, behavioral health workforce. And so specifically looking at psychologists and psychiatrists. And so it sounds like, although obviously these are PAs and aren't psychiatrists, they would be helping to serve that need, that psychiatric medication evaluation and management need. So that's really great to hear that they've opened up that program.
Absolutely. As PAs, they technically, with their license, they can provide the mental health care, but part of this rotation is providing that specific training for them in order to be able to be that first line of defense for Oklahomans experiencing mental health concerns.
Oh, great. And you have another story for us.
I do. This one is a national story. So this one comes from Science Daily. So there was a recent study that surveyed former NFL players. And so according to the study interviewed 2,000 former NFL players. And what they found was that 34% of those NFL players believed that they met criteria for chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE. And so, as we know, CTE is a disorder that cannot be diagnosed until after death. There's currently not a protocol for diagnosing CTE while somebody is alive. And so, but what they found is among these players, 34% believed they did meet criteria. And of those 34% who believed they meet criteria, those folks typically had lower testosterone, higher depression, more chronic headaches, chronic pain, and 25% of those also reported experiencing suicidal ideation. And so symptoms of CTE include include confusion, include memory loss, poor judgment, tremors, impulsivity. And the researchers who discussed the implications of the study stated, as we know, this doesn't really help us to diagnose the CTE because, again, there's no protocol for diagnosing it while somebody is alive, but it gives researchers and clinicians information on what are some things that we can do to help alleviate symptoms. And so what it really encouraged us was, even if a player or somebody believes they meet criteria for that CTE, to really make sure that we don't just focus on the CTE, focus on those other things, focus on the treating lower testosterone, the higher depression, treating the chronic pain and the headaches. And so to make sure that we still provide that wraparound care, again, because CTE, even though it might be affecting the person, we technically can't diagnose that yet. So I just thought that was really fascinating, how significant that was. And the researchers too posited that increase in suicidal ideation amongst those with CTE, it's not really certain if that is because CTE leads one to feel more suicidal, or if somebody believes they have CTE, if they have a bleaker outlook on life, because CTE, as we know, is degenerative and not curable currently. So there's a lot of emerging research. CTE is one of those diagnoses that really, even though it's been around for a very long time, is very new in the literature. I don't think it was really a diagnosis until about the last 20 years or so. And so it's interesting to see all of this emerging research still coming out to help further the understanding of CTE.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that, Hayley. And I have a couple of news stories as well. So coming out of Rogers County, the Oklahoma Department of Mental Health Substance Abuse Services recently approved a $289,000 mental health grant for them. And so part of that money is going to go to Grants Mental Health to provide support personnel in their county jail. Also, Rogers County Youth Services is going to use part of the money for a juvenile diversion program. And then last, they're going to develop an app that will list mental health resources there in the county. So that's really interesting, them getting that money, and then how Rogers County is choosing to use that money. And part of it is that app, just to try to help keep a database of resources there that people can utilize. Other piece of news, I know you had talked last week about the Oklahoma Department of Health taking up the vending machines, and so there won't be any more vending machines around. Well, Health Outreach Prevention Education, which goes by the acronym HOPE, is going to keep their vending machine. And so they are keeping it there at their clinic site at 51st and Yale in Tulsa, because they felt like it has just been such a help to their clientele. So they're going to keep their vending machine, and I'm sure with that will go like the cost of maintaining the vending machine and things like that. I imagine that they'll get their, supplies to fill the vending machine for free from the Oklahoma Department of Mental Health. But they've just decided, hey, it's okay if you've made that decision that you don't want to take care of the vending machine, but we'll take care of the vending machine. So kudos to HOPE for keeping their vending machine there.
And I also read that ODMH is planning on auctioning off the rest of the vending machines too. And so if organizations are interested in maintaining one themselves, there might be that opportunity come up. According to the press release, it had many organizations reach out and ask if they could take the machines. And so from what I last understand, they're looking at doing an auction to sell those off. So it might still be around in some other shape or form.
Oh, interesting. That is good to know. So yeah, get your vending machine. That's great. All right, Hayley, who is our winner for this week?
Our winner is, drumroll please, our good friend Hayley Hansen. What did Hayley win this week, Micah?
Hey, Hayley, you won a gift card to Bath and Body Works. So congratulations, Hayley. And thank you
Yay!
for supporting the Oklahoma Counseling Institute and entering in our drawing and winning this week's Monday Lunchtime Digest drawing. So, Hayley, how can people be like Hayley?
If you want to be like Hayley, you can do one or all three of three things. You can like this post, you can share this post, or you can comment your answer to today's question. Every time you do one of those three things, not only do you get entered into a chance to win next week's drawing, but you also help us grow. You help us to feed the algorithm, be seen by others. So thank you for supporting us, Hayley, and everyone else who liked and commented over the last few weeks.
Yes, fantastic. And yes, we appreciate everyone liking and commenting and telling other people about us. We really, really appreciate that. So, Hayley, what is our question for this week?
Our question for this week is, what is your favorite dessert? Micah, what's your favorite dessert?
Oh, you know, that's hard because I like desserts. So, I mean, it would probably depend on the day that you ask me. But if I had to pick one, it would be key lime pie. That is my favorite.
Ooh, good choice.
Yes. All right, Hayley, what's your favorite dessert?
I like chocolate cake.
Oh, nice.
I have a chocolate funfetti. It's a Halloween funfetti chocolate cake mix that I'm going to be baking this week, and I am incredibly excited about it. I have my little cake pans that make them into little spooky cupcake bats, and so I'm just really excited for my chocolate cake this week.
All right, great. And we would love to hear from you. What is your favorite dessert to have? And, you know, give us the answer to that question. And as Hayley said before, like and share. And each time you do those things, you'll be entered into the drawing.
Yes, and thank you so much for watching today, and we'll see you all next week.
See everybody next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.